G'day Nuarjan, Kristine Garrett, CEO of Gullumbilla Aboriginal Health Service. Greetings from Gumbaynggirr country. I would like to take this opportunity to acknowledge the traditional owners of where I am today, in the beautiful Coffs Harbour, the Gumbaynggirr people, the traditional owners where you are today, and elders past and present. Thank you AHMRC for the invite, but unfortunately I couldn't make it today to present with our wonderful Ready Mob team, Christy and David. But I thought it was important to give you a bit of an overview of Gullumbilla and our model of care that supports the tackling Indigenous smoking and the great work that they're doing with the Cancer Council in particular, and their work not only in health promotion but also smoking cessation. Gullumbilla is an Aboriginal community controlled health organisation with a board of directors of 9 community members. We approximately have 55 staff. We have 4 doctors, currently 2 nurses, 70 Aboriginal health workers, 6 Aboriginal health worker practitioners, and I'll probably talk a little bit about that in my presentation, 5 executive managers including myself. We have approximately 2,600 active Aboriginal clients that come back to us more than 3 times in 2 years. We have a total client population just over 3,000. The Tackling Indigenous Smoking team is a regional program that's funded by Department of Health and extends from Coffs Harbour to Port Macquarie, New South Wales. We first received the grant in 2013, so it's been a 5-year journey for us. And my presentation is to give you an idea around what that impact has been at Gullumbilla. Ready Mob is our regional flagship to tackle Indigenous smoking rates. They are a team of 6 that have maintained a high level of standard in population approaches through anti-smoking campaign, activities in the school to prevent the uptake of smoking, and in the last couple of years, smoking interventions. Christine and David will provide more details on their activities. As of July 2018, the smoking interventions one-to-one support will be dropped from the national program and will be following suit by 2019. This will be our second program change in 5 years. As we know, it is very difficult to gain localised data on smoking rates and the impact that it has. What I will be sharing with you today from Gullumbilla's perspective is that impact. We are always cautious in providing statistical data as they do have names and faces within our context. They are our clients, families, and people that we interact often. As I indicated, Gullumbilla's regular clients are well over 2,000. And it's important that this privilege does not be abused in any way. The TIS program commenced in October 2013. Gullumbilla's daily smoking rates were high and they are still growing, but we are seeing a shift. As you can see, over the 5-year period, our smoking status in terms of regular smokers have grown considerably over that time. But there's a couple of contributing factors that I think it's important for us to mention. One is the Tackling Indigenous Smoking team started in October 2013. So it was really a population health approach. We were doing a lot of TV commercials, a lot of promotion, and a lot of activities. A component of the Tackling Indigenous Smoking at that time was a healthy lifestyle, and we contributed to those activities within the region considerably. Yet over that period, our stats in terms of our regular smoking rates were pretty level during that time. We still had a slight incline for smokers, ex-smokers at Gallumbilla. And it wasn't until we actually changed our model of care. So what did we mean by changing the model of care? Basically, we moved all our Aboriginal health workers to client services. They were the first point of call. They developed a snap check. Basically what that meant was that majority of our clients had to see an Aboriginal health worker either pre or post seeing a GP. This change was significant. It was significant in terms of our quality of data. What it meant was that we had a significant increase in our data quality around the smoking rates. But at the same time, the population health approach was really driving demand for us, and we had a bit of an inability to cope with that demand if it wasn't for the Tackling Indigenous Smoking team. In 2015, we made a bit of a shift. The Tackling Indigenous Smoking team, through its evaluation over that time, was noticed that more and more people was actually wanting to quit, and we didn't believe at that time there was the uptake with the quit lines to provide the support that was required. So in 2015, we actually changed the program logistics to look at interventions in particular, especially around the distribution of NRTs. To be able to do that, we had to have Aboriginal health workers, or we had to have the TIS team qualified as Aboriginal health workers. We had to provide clinical supervision for them from the doctors, in particularly, so that we provided a model of quality care. But this didn't hinder the population health approach. A lot of the interventions was opportunistics, but for us, what that meant was that we had a significant improvement in our quality of data. Added to that, with that push in the demand with the population health approach, we did see a continual growth in our regular smokers over that time. What was interesting for us when we changed the model of care was that we started to actually see our ex-smoker rates also climb slightly. We believe that this has been a result of that change in model of care, and also the interventions that were happening at the time during 2015. It's only been recently that we're actually seeing the cessation stats, in particularly where more and more of our people are wanting to quit or intending to quit. With the change in the programming going forward, our model is still going to try to ensure that we maintain a standard around the smoking cessation. We cannot do that unless we actually change the current TIS program. We have a number of Aboriginal health workers that are in that program, and one of them is a Aboriginal health worker practitioner. And through that skill, we have seen quite a number of our clients wanting to look at options to quit, not only through Quit Buddy, Quit Line, but also the additional support that they get from the TIS smoking team. At Gallumbilla, we recognise that our smoking rates are high, and we're now seeing the long-term effects of that. especially in terms of kidney disease. The smoking rates nationally are fourth in a number of other burden of disease that are impacting on our people. For Gullumbilla and Coffs Harbour in particular, we are seeing the increases of kidney disease as a result of smoking, hypertension, obesity. The question will still come up whether the new approach, and for our team, we'll be working really hard to see whether we can actually expand a population health approach to gain behavioural change. But that can't be done on its own. We need to have common purpose, common messages to be able to make some real change on the ground. And Gullumbilla is part of that change. I'm available for anyone that want to find out more around our model of care. But in the meantime, I now hand you over to Christy and David, who are our team leaders of our wonderful Ready Mob team. Thank you.